You are listening to Season 2 of The Diary of a Wannabe Writer, the short and often daily podcast in which I chronicle my life and attempt to be a writer by writing daily. Sometimes. Hello, it's Saturday the 3rd of May 2025. And you're listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. I did say I would come back today. I almost wish I'd given myself a couple more days because I haven't achieved... No, that's not true. I've achieved lots today, just none of it has been writing. So I got back from New York yesterday. I've now got until the 19th off work. I am going to Phoenix at some point during this to go to a friend's graduation. I don't want to spend a lot of the other time just getting some writing done. So what did I do today? Well, my plan was to get at least chapter 2 of Empress of the Trees, which is what I'm working on now, signed off. What I have done in the last, I think since I last spoke to you, was I got another paperback. I can't remember if I said this in the last one or not, so forgive me if this is repetition. But I did get another paperback copy of Empress of the Trees through, and of Still Life through, and Almost No Mistakes. And yes, I did talk about it, didn't I? Because there was a paragraph that I thought was in there. Anyway, that's all been corrected, and now a friend of mine is actually reading it. So I'll be interested to see what they make of it. They've read the first chapter, and so it's really too early to tell. So what else did I do today? So there's a couple of things I needed to do today. So I'm going to the Contemporary Book Club for my my local bookshop this month, and I sort of went in and asked, is there any spaces left? And they said, not really. But they squeezed me in anyway, even though they didn't really have a space for me. And then whilst I was in America, they sent out an email basically saying because of demand, they've opened up a second slot. So I did walk into the shop today and just say, move me to the other one, because I know the other one was the first one was kind of full. So they're both on the same day, but I've gone on to the earlier slot, so that's good. I went and bought some more seeds. I haven't lost a lot of weight over the last few days, because I had a mini lapse just before I went to New York. But I've basically been doing keto. I've lost about 11 pounds, and I've been baking these. But they're sort of bread. They're the keto equivalent of bread, using psyllium husk, almond flour, water, salt, baking soda, basically. And yeah, they're pretty good. And I dip them in seeds, so they come out. So when they bake, they've got seeds on them. So I went to buy some seeds today. My plan was to do some baking when I got back, but I just wasn't in the mood. And I've been in a really kind of... what else did I do? I went and bought a couple of other bits and pieces I needed. And also, I've been talking about sorting out my spare room for absolutely ages, and I blatantly haven't. Well, now I've had an email through from the company that fitted some blinds for me recently, and I've expressed an interest in some total blackout blinds they do, because I want them in the room that's going to be my room, which is currently the spare room. And I actually and they sent me an email saying, they're in stock, so why didn't you come and have a look? And I walked in today, and it turns out they don't open on a Saturday, so I wasn't able to do that. So I shall pop in on Monday and try and get that ordered and booked. I did get the guy to actually measure the blind space, so I think he already has the measurements he needs, but also they'd never fitted that kind of blind before, so it might be that he wants to take them again, but that's fine. If he wants to come and measure up again, no problem. And that will now motivate me to get that space clear, because basically to get the blinds in, I might as well get the room emptied. Once the room is emptied, I can then decorate it, and then suddenly it feels like I'm making a bit of progress. What else can I say today? Yeah, Doctor Who. I've just watched the new Doctor Who episode, and I'm not going to do spoilers. I didn't like it very much. I've actually thought the first 3 episodes this year were pretty good. Definitely the opener was a lot better than the dreadful opener of the previous year, Space Babies, which was just utter crap. I really liked Lux, which was the one about the cartoon thing that comes to life, voiced by Alan Cumming. I thought there were some nice ideas in there. It was kind of scary, and it kind of tied into the pantheon of gods that they've kind of been using since the specials in 2023. So that was good. And then last week I thought it was a sequel for the sake of a sequel, but it was actually done really well. It was quite scary and quite atmospheric, and I thought it was one of the better episodes that they've done in this new run. And then suddenly this one, so it's a Doctor Light episode, which means the Doctor's hardly in it. That's not much of a spoiler, really. It focuses around Unit and Ruby Sunday. And I've discovered I don't really like Ruby Sunday. I really don't like the character. I love Belinda, the new companion. I think she's wonderful. But Ruby I never gelled with, and this episode has not done anything to address that, in my opinion. And the other thing is, so in the olden days, when they were producing 13 episodes a year, they would do an episode that the Doctor wasn't in much for time reasons. So they would literally be doing another episode whilst the one without the Doctor in it much was in production. So they could literally be shooting 2 at the same time. They're only producing 8 in a series now, so there's absolutely no need to do that. Now, last year there were 2 episodes that the Doctor was hardly in, but that was purely for reasons of availability of shooting Atwar. So he basically was committed to, I think it was the final season of Sex Education, and Doctor Who dates clashed. So rather than push the dates back, they did 2 episodes that didn't have the Doctor in very much. So last year, I kind of let them off. It's kind of forgivable because, you know, there was a production reason for it. It was availability of the actor. But he's the star of the show. He's now with it full time. They shouldn't be needing to produce an episode that's hardly got the Doctor in when they're only making 8 bloody episodes a year. I thought it was utterly... It just pissed me off, to be honest. Can you tell? And I didn't think it was a very good episode. And that's because I normally like Unit. I normally enjoy the Kate Stewart stuff. But and it was nice to see Ruth Madeley back. She hasn't been in the show since, I think it was the David Tennant specials. So she appeared in a couple of episodes there, but then was noticeably absent from last year. But she was in this episode. It was nice to see her back. And I know she's going to be... one of the stars of the Doctor Who spin-off that's coming either late this year or next year, called War Between the Land and the Sea. But anyway, so yeah, I was just a little bit... I didn't see the point of them doing what they did. I would much rather have seen an episode starring the Doctor and the companion, but actually this hardly did. And that was a shame, and it was a mistake. Anyway, I should really talk about my targets for May, but I've waffled on a little bit, and I should be in a more writing frame of mind tomorrow, hopefully. So I shall talk about May's targets tomorrow, and hopefully talk about a bit of editing I've done on Empress of the Trees. Nice to be back. Thank you for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to The Diary of a Wannabe Writer. For more information about what I'm writing, go to linktr.ee/Richard Writes, capital R, capital W, where you can find details of my website and social media. I may see you there.